starting. This is the LazyLecturer presentation. We don't mean lazy in a nasty way here, we mean it in a nice way. Same as Larry Ward. This was a virtue. This was inspired by Nick Short, who at the Developer Happiness Days as a lecturer user, and we talked to him about what he'd like to see in an application to help him out. He really wants to be able to record PowerPoint, create PowerPoint presentations using video image resources. Some of the things he deals with are a bit gory, the insides of animals and so forth, so they can't just be stored in Flickr or on the open web. There needs to be some place for him to put them, and this thing that we're talking about here doesn't really deal with that. The first solution that I came up with was that really a lot of what Nick needs is to be empowered by being trained. So we could show him how to create and manage video and image resources, help him sort out where to host them, include them in PowerPoint. We could then say that was our entry in the competition and win a prize. But if we want to get a bit more complicated about this, we've worked out a way to assist by letting him go shopping on the web, collecting resources with the click of a button, having those resources delivered down to his computer so we can cook them, mix them together and serve them up, mix them in PowerPoint, IMS content packages, which I'll demonstrate, or even create documents out of them. This could be then served up into virtual learning environments, learning management systems, put onto the web or used in a face-to-face context. Then they might actually be reserved to people using the Object Reuse and Exchange ORE or via Delicious. So I'll show you the sorts of things that Nick might like to use with this picture of a cat, which is clearly in need of a vet. We have been working on a service to create a button, something like this one here, Save to LazyLecturer. You click that, and this one is just talking to the Delicious bookmarking system. So there are some tags here: Intro to Digital History, Week 3, and if you click this, it will save this bookmark into the Delicious system where it can be reused, and it forms a sort of part of your corporate memory about what's included in various courses. Ian is working on a system to make this much more usable by taking out the where you have to log into Delicious and actually even know anything about Delicious, but we haven't quite managed to get that web service up for this demo. So imagine when you click that button, behind the scenes it stores a link in Delicious, and if we look at I'm just flashing the screen here for your amusement. If you look at my Delicious account, this is where I've been storing test pages for this demonstration. So I've got a YouTube resource in here, I've got the sick hat, and I've got a couple of pages from my own blog. Now that's the shopping. When we come to the cooking, I'm going to use the integrated content environment, which is a content management system, and I will start by adding a new folder which will contain my package, so I'll call it LL for LazyLecturer. My system organizes things using the IMS content packaging system. Click to the Advanced tab, and I'll click on this new button here which I wrote LazyLecturer Delivery. Now what that's doing is it has gone to my Delicious account, which have been populated with LazyLecturer button, and I've hard coded it here, a query which will fetch things I've tagged with LazyLecturer. We have an interface where you could choose which course you're interested in. It's now pulled down 4 pages, and I should be able to organize those by clicking on the organizer. And at the moment it hasn't actually worked out what the titles of any of these things are, but as I click on them, it's now worked out what the title is. That page 3 was something off my blog. Page 2 is the dead cat. And if I don't like the order that those things are appearing in, I can move the dead cat to be the first resource. The ICE system has a number of ways to publish this content. So I can publish it by adding pub to a blog. I can deposit it using Sword into a repository. If I want to put this into my local ePrints or DSpace or whatever, I could use this button. And I can export it as an IMS package, which can then be uploaded into a learning management system. Or I could just turn up with ICE and use this to go through the resources with my class. The other thing I can do is, I click on this one, I can annotate this resource. So I can say that I'm not sure if it's dead. Maybe it needs medicine. So this is just using the ICE. ICE has this built-in annotation system. What we could do with this after we have download the resources and annotated them would be to re-upload them back into the web by publishing this aggregation and all the comments that I've made about it as a new ORE, that's Object Reuse and Exchange aggregation. So all we've done here is a demo. To make this work properly, we really need plugins so that it can understand how to deal with Flickr, YouTube, WordPress, institutional repositories and so on. At the moment it's just downloading entire pages, complete with, in some cases, advertisements and all sorts of stuff which is not actually the content you're after. Copyright will be a big issue here, but at the moment people are reusing or misusing copyright materials anyway, so I'm not sure this really changes anything. What we actually did for this was build the new bookmark service, which Ian has been working on and is posted in GitHub. Mia's been working on the bookmarking and some diagrams about how this system works, which will go into blog post and so on to support this presentation. And the fetch button and the very rough plug-in system for fetching your content, putting it into the existing ICE system is something that I did. There are lots more things that we need to make this system a reality.